Yo, shout out to the Most High. It's always a high see when our Lord say this LDs, also known Lawrence One, for another episode of I Need to Know my special guest. Introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? I'm Carli, the Chronic Queen, Lombardo.
Hey! Ding, 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 ding. Hey, Carli.
What's going on?
Tell people what you do.
I'm an MMA fighter out of the Bay Area, California.
Okay. Tell everybody a little bit something about yourself. You said your name is Carli, the Chronic Queen Lombardo.
Correct.
Where you want to start at? You want to start in the ring or you want to start in the blunts?
In the ring.
Okay, so how long you been doing what you do?
I've been training martial arts about 9 years now, or almost 10 years now. Started as a wrestler, high school, and then I went to college for wrestling, and now I'm out here fighting.
Okay, so how much do you weigh, like 110?
I fight at 115. Really, I should be fighting like 105. Sometimes I fight girls that are like 125, yeah. So I'll fight up a weight class, maybe possibly even on Friday if I can get a flight to Palm Springs.
Okay. So you enjoy what you do?
I love what I do.
Okay, tell me about the hardest fight that you actually had.
Actually, my first fight ever against Jelena Hampton. You're going to see her in the big leagues. She's a fucking firecracker. It was a good fight. I just feel like mentally I had other outside shit going on. So I wasn't all there mentally. And when you're in your first fight, things are a lot more slow motion than the punches are coming. So you're like, oh, shit, and damn, she got me good. But
okay.
win, lose, or draw, I keep going. So
okay.
I love what I do.
Okay, but speaking of the win, lose, or draw, how many wins do you have and how many losses do you have?
I'm 3-3 right now. So
yeah,
looking to get more wins on that record.
Okay. So this is what I also want to know. Have you ever had to use some of what you know now out in the street?
Not yet.
Okay. And are your hands registered?
Registered? Well, I mean, yeah, under the California State Martial Arts, yeah. There's no technical such thing as like registered, but if you look it up under like California MMA, yeah, I'm in there.
What I'm asking is,
so technically,
will you go to jail for hitting me?
I probably could if they looked into my name.
I'm telling.
I mean, they probably could.
Okay. So you have a daughter, right?
I do, yes.
How do you balance the family life with the ring life?
Honestly, it's a battle outside the ring too. I have a lot of family help, and they're finally starting to see my hard work pay off, so they're really proud of me. And I just told them I'm going to keep going. It's going to pay off. I want to create a better life for my daughter, my family. I'm willing to take the punches and the hits to create a legacy for my family and help other people too that help me along the way. But just balancing it, going back to that, I would say just a lot of family support. My friend JB too, I want to shout him out. Black for getting me on this podcast. They've been helping me a lot right now.
Okay. And shout out to my big brother Black. Tell Black I said call me, man.
I will.
For sure. So now I want to tap into a very sensitive subject.
Okay.
What do you say about when they have like transgenders fighting, let's say like a man who identifies as a woman, but he fights women? Speak on that.
Okay, so that's actually been quite a big issue here in the past. I personally wouldn't do it. Men, just naturally have a lot more testosterone than women. I would say it should be illegal. I know there's some women that are bigger weight classes and there's smaller men that they could take on. But in an actual MMA sanctioned fight, it should never, I don't think it should ever happen. I've asked coaches on their opinions and they kind of have, their own thoughts on it. But I don't know, Amanda Nunes, I think if you guys know who she is, I think she could take a regular guy on the street. It just depends how much training that guy has. I would just say in a regular sanctioned match is not a good idea to do.
Okay, okay. You said that your coaches had their own thoughts and ideas.
Yeah. So if you guys know who like Amanda Nunez is, or Chris Cyborg, like they could take a regular guy on the street. But if we're talking about an actual physical match where there's two trained fighters that are knowing what they're doing, I would say no. I'm not for the man on woman violence. That's a big no for me.
I like how you said that. That was cool. Wasn't that smooth, Steve? You know, because my thing is this. A woman went in there and fought a man that identifies as a woman and got severely hurt.
Yeah, her skull got crushed.
Yes.
It's not a good idea. Like the testosterone doesn't matter the size. It's not something to be played with. It's different things. Like I'll spar with guys, but they're working technically with me. They're helping me on my technique. They're not full blown hitting me.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Gotcha. And you said you haven't used any of these skills on the street yet, huh?
Not yet. I'm waiting for a motherfucker to try me.
Okay.
I hope I don't have to.
But you seem like one of those little feisty. Was you like that in high school?
I played water polo in high school, but I always was kind of like, I don't know, for some reason, I joined the wrestling team because my girlfriends wanted me to join, and I ended up loving it. And I was like, I hope somebody would try me. And like, I was always kind of just cool with everybody, so I never really had problems with anybody. But now, like, I like that I get to test my skills in a more professional setting. So,
would you identify as kind of like a tomboy?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
And it strikes a lot of people too, because I say I'm an athlete, and they're like, "What are you, like a gymnast? Like you do cheerleading?" I'm like, "Nah, like guess again."
Yeah. So your daughter, do you teach her some of the moves and stuff like that? That's what I want to know.
She's always like, "Mom, fight, let's fight," and she'll like put her hands up, and like we'll play around, and I'll hold pads for her sometimes, but I'm wanting her to get more into it. Yeah, she's 5 right now, turning 6. So I think this is a perfect age to start introducing her more into everything.
You know what? I can see into the future. I know where you're going to make a lot of your money at.
Where's that?
You're going to have a dojo teaching people how to fight.
I would love that. My dream is to, I actually went to nursing school too, but I'm not going that route right now. I'm going through the fight life. I want to open up my own gym / health and wellness center. So I think it's good to be multifaceted, have your education, but I'm young right now. I got like another 10, 12 years left in me, and I'm trying to push while I'm in my prime right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if you aged backwards.
I mean, my mom looks pretty good for her 50s. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else was I going to ask you? Oh. I want to step out the ring, and I want to step into the blunt world.
Okay.
They call you the Chronic Queen.
Yes, they do.
Why do they call you the Chronic Queen?
So I used to be a big-ass pothead in college and a little bit after college, and so, they call me the Chronic Queen, but I had to put that down right now, the smoking, because it affects my lungs as an athlete, and I went to nursing school, so, it's like chronic pain, chronic weed, so yeah. It's kind of like 2 and 2. Yeah.
Do you do edibles?
I used to, yeah, but it's just, the smoke fucks my lungs up for training, and I realized, like, hey, I'm going to put that down until after I'm done fighting, and, yeah.
You know what? A lot of people want to train, you know what I'm saying, or fight. I said it backwards. A lot of people want to fight. Talk about, what is the training like? How strenuous is it on the body? What do you do?
I train like some days 4 to 6 hours a day, sometimes 2 times a day. So, for example, like tomorrow, I'll wake up, go to training probably around 10 for a couple hours, do MMA, and then tomorrow night I'm going to be boxing sparring. So it really just depends on the day and like kind of what my schedule's like for the week with my daughter and, everything. But I would say 4 to 6 hours a day is what it takes to get in there.
What kind of calisthenics do you actually do, or isometrics do you do to prepare yourself for such?
MMA training, so boxing. I do strength and conditioning. I think that's been the biggest asset for me lately is doing a lot of weight training and explosiveness training, like jumps on top of a tire, jumps on top of a box. Also, just going around the ring, and my coach will say switch, switch, and getting those fast twitch muscles going so you can really be more explosive in the ring has been helping me a lot lately.
And what martial art do you identify with?
I would say everything. Wrestling was my first form of martial art, but I'm actually enjoying boxing a lot more recently in the past few years. So I feel like my boxing has been my strongest asset lately. Shout out to Lions Den Boxing Gym.
Shout out to Lions Den Boxing Gym.
Jimbo over there, my strength and conditioning coach, has been a big help for me.
Is Clarissa Shields the GOAT?
I would say so, yeah.
You ever heard of Clarissa Shields? Clarissa
Wow.
Shields got about 5 belts.
Yeah. She's actually transitioning to MMA right now. She's in the PFL, and I actually commented on something, and I was like, I said, boxing makes more money, and she was like, and she actually commented back on my thing, and she's like, no, it doesn't. And I was surprised because usually boxing does make more money, but for like a star, an idol, somebody like herself, I guess she's doing better in MMA, and the PFL has been really good for her. So I was surprised she even commented back on one of my things.
Well, you know what? Shout out to Clarissa Shields.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that we're missing the fact that you said boxing, right?
I would say boxing. I'm a scrapper
But
in MMA, yeah.
But the thing is that women boxing, like basketball makes money, but women basketball really doesn't.
Yep.
I think in the realm that you're fighting in, it may be more money in MMA or octagon fighting than boxing because it's not really a lot of women that box, right?
There's a good amount. There's not like a lot of household names, you would say.
That's what I meant. Is it like when you think of male, like when you think of like
Canelo or
Exactly.
somebody like that? There's a lot more male household names, I would say, in boxing. I don't know.
Is there a lot of women household names in MMA?
I would say so. Maybe just because I follow it more, and that's the sport I follow, and that's what I do. But I mean, Ronda Rousey, Chris Cyborg, Holly Holm. There's a ton of names I can name off, like people that a lot of people do know nowadays. I think the sport is definitely growing. I mean, when I went to college for wrestling, there was only 20 colleges that offered scholarships for women, and now it's like doubled or tripled. So I definitely think women's martial arts is one of the fastest growing sports right now.
And what is your favorite martial art?
That's hard to say because I used to, wrestling used to be my bread and butter, but I would say boxing's really working out for me right now. Boxing's what's been, really won me my last fight and like wowed the crowd. So I would say boxing. I like using my Philly shell. So yeah.
Okay, so is boxing the martial arts that interests you or intrigue you the most?
Right now, I would say yes. I'm enjoying boxing women in the cage. Yeah,
okay.
Because I can be kind of scrappy with it. And I would say being in the cage using my boxing, I like better than the ring because I can use my transitions as a wrestler if I want to go from a takedown.
Do you go in your fights? Do they go to the end or knockouts or what?
They've all been recently. The past 4 fights have gone the distance, and then my first fight was a TKO. My second fight, I TKO'd a different girl. So all my fights this year have gone the distance. So looking for that knockout soon.
Do you ever get nervous when they go the distance and you have to depend on the judges?
Honestly, I would say no, just because you said depend on the judges. Yes and no, because sometimes they can have their favorites. Because if I'm fighting in San Diego, I'm not from San Diego, but San Diego has a lot of love for me now because I've been fighting out there more. So I do, sometimes, but I'm confident in my skills, and I feel like I, put on the show. So I don't get nervous.
Speaking of that, do any girls ever have cauliflower ear?
There is some, yeah, but I feel like it's very far and few. I haven't seen a whole lot. My second to last fight, my ear started to get a little swollen and then it went back down. But that's from like rubbing against like the cage or like the ground. So yeah.
How do people develop cauliflower ear?
The friction. So friction, getting hit maybe in the ear rubbing against the ground, the cage. Just depends on it's no specific answer. Just the rubbing against each other. Maybe even when you're in the clinch, rubbing against somebody else's head.
Okay.
It's over time. It takes over time most of the time.
Okay, and I got to ask you a weed question real quick.
Okay.
What are your favorite 3 weed rap songs?
3 favorite weed rap songs. I don't know if I have a favorite, but one that comes off top of my head is "Cause I Got High." Cause I got high.
That's Afro Man.
Yeah, Afro Man. Yeah. That's the only one I could think off the top of my head right now. But I don't know.
Not I Got 5 on it.
Oh, I Got 5 on it.
Come on, man.
This is a good one.
How you gonna sit there and have a Bay Area shirt on and you ain't gonna have a Bay Area anthem on there?
You put me on the spot.
I do, but I didn't put you in the ring.
You're right.
And you know which other one I like?
Which one?
Scarface, Mary, Mary, Mary. You know which one that is?
I'd have to hear it.
Mary, 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 Mary.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Damn, I can't sing. Yeah. So who's your next fight?
So I actually might be fighting Friday. I didn't have everything like signed yet, but we'll see if they can get me a flight out to Palm Springs. I'm not paying for the flight. I told them, I said, you guys got to pay for the flight. And I guess we're the co-main event if it does happen. But for sure, October 21st, I may be fighting for a belt in Visalia, and that probably will go through.
For sure. And how much do fights how much would you be, not how much would you be getting paid, but a ballpark figure in women like?
So as an amateur, you're going in there basically for free. So you're doing it all for free except the sponsors. You have sponsors that pay you. Then when you go pro, you get paid per fight. So I'll give you a ballpark example. So I would say a ballpark example will be 10 to show, 10 to win. So 20,000. And then it just goes up from there. It really just depends also on your star power and your stage presence. So I think it's good to, brand yourself as a fighter and, have your social media active and be marketable.
Dope. And what is the furthest you ever fought from where you live at?
I would say San Diego. So these past 2 fights, I've gone to San Diego. It's been good out there. I've got to go on vacation afterwards and kind of get to celebrate my, the hard work I put in.
Okay. And do you take your daughter to the fights?
I want to, but I still feel like she's a little bit young and I don't want her to get scared. I've seen that happen with, other fighters like in the UFC and, their kids end up getting scared. So I want to make sure she's a little bit older until she comes, maybe 8 or 9, a couple more years.
Okay. So where do you see yourself in the next 3 years?
I see myself going pro. So hopefully by the end of next year, get a few more wins under my belt and we'll be going pro.
So amateurs get paid?
Nothing.
Except
your sponsors. If you can get people to sponsor you, if you want to sponsor your girl, let me know. I'm putting that work in every day. No, we don't get paid as an amateur. You're doing this. You're an entrepreneur basically. So you got to put your name out there. You put yourself out there, connect with the right people, hopefully get sponsors to help you through the fight camp, hustle through the fight life and make it to the pros.
Was it hard getting in nursing school?
Oh, it was. I did it during the pandemic when, all the fighting stopped and when all the amateur shows stopped. And I said, you know what, this isn't my backup plan, but I want to make my family happy and, show them that I am smart. Because I feel like there's this huge stigma that boxers or MMA fighters or martial artists, aren't educated. And that's not true. I feel like we're some of the smartest people not in the world, but we are very smart. You have to, you know, put in a lot of hours and discipline just to do this sport. So I would say, yeah, it was hard. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, just like fighting. And I think, you know, I just wanted to make my family happy and show them that I can do something outside of the cage ring and get it done.
If, say, Lord forbid, the boxing doesn't work, would you, or the martial, would you think that you could ever go back to that?
Honestly, that I have no plan B. I don't really see myself being a nurse. Maybe I'll pick up shifts and stuff, but I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I can't. I love helping people, but after the pandemic and everything, it really opened my eyes to a lot. And I'm a martial artist for life. I'm an entrepreneur. So.
What did the pandemic open you up to? What did you learn the most?
I would say, you know, in the nursing field, you know, we're here to help people, but I feel like a lot of doctors are just here to give nurses the orders to give these people pills, and I feel like a lot of these doctors and like don't really care about these patients, and I can't be a part of that. And also, you know, my experience, I don't know if it was just me, but a lot of my classmates, a lot of people are Filipino, and, you know, I'm a blonde, and, you know, I had A's, B's in nursing school, and I felt like I was really discriminated against, and so that really ruined my experience. I know it might not be like that everywhere, but I just feel like I'm worth more than, you know, that career and that pay. I feel like I'm an entrepreneur at the end of the day.
And you said, are you white? No, you're Italian, right?
I'm Sicilian.
Sicilian,
Romanian, Greek. I got a little bit of German in there. But, yeah.
And you still face discrimination?
I wouldn't say discrimination. I guess they call it more prejudiceness.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I had a lot of my classmates, they'd be like, why is she, like, singling you out, you know? And I was like, am I in my head? But I had my classmates kind of, like, be like, pull me aside, and I'm like, you know, maybe it's because I'm white, you know, or Italian, you know, I'm not Filipino like you guys. So
was the teacher Filipino?
Yeah.
Male, female?
Female.
Oh yeah, that could be pretty catty, couldn't it?
Yeah, she heard that I was a fighter too, and she was like, how are you a fighter? You have no energy. And I'm like, well, this job is draining the life out of me. You know, it's not my passion. I feel like life's so short, you got to go after what you want. You know, there's no time to waste.
Yeah. And do you feel like that you're going to have some more kids in life?
I feel personally, if I connect maybe with the right person, maybe when I'm done fighting I know women are having kids in their 40s right now, but my thing is I want to give all the time I can to my daughter, because I do travel a lot for my fights, and I do, you know, I am an entrepreneur, so, you know, I'm hustling, and it, you know, I just want to give her all the time that I can. I don't want to, you know, bring another kid into the picture. I want her to have all my time.
Do you feel like that you're married to your career?
I do. I'm married to the game. I love it.
She is from the Bay Area. Before we get out of here, tell people where they can reach you at.
You can reach me at Carli Jo, or CARLI_JO__. That's a Carli with an I, not a Y, on Instagram. I'm most active on there, so you guys can reach me on there. Follow the fight journey, show love and support. I appreciate it. If anybody wants to sponsor, greatly appreciate it. Grinding every day, trying to make it to the pros. So hopefully by next year we'll be there.
For sure, and thank you for coming out.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
For sure. And I'm LD's, also known Lawrence, the one for another episode of I Need to Know. And as usual, come on, you know what I want.